Hello, ghouls and ghoulies. Welcome to Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. I'm your host, Larry Lee Roten. This is a dark tale of a young boy's imaginary friend. Did you ever have an imaginary friend? If so, I sure hope he wasn't like Mr. Clay. This story is called Mr. Clay. At 13, Rodney was the youngest of four boys in the Lively Joneses household. While his brothers were outgoing and sociable, Rodney was different. He was shy and withdrawn, often preferring the company of his thoughts over the robust energy of his brothers. Rodney's introverted nature stood in stark contrast to his siblings, who easily made friends and thrived in social settings. The difference didn't go unnoticed by his parents, who found themselves increasingly concerned about Rodney's isolation. They worried about his happiness and wondered if he felt lonely or left out. The doctor said he would grow out of it. Everyone held on to this hopeful promise, especially when he announced with excitement that he had a new friend. To his parents, it seemed like a positive turn, a sign of social progress. However, this new friend, Mr. Clay, was not like others. Mr. Clay lived exclusively in Rodney's bedroom, unseen by anyone else. His presence was felt only by the boy, who spoke of him with enthusiasm and details that seemed all too real. His parents were puzzled. They exchanged concerned glances when their son would chatter about his imaginary conversations with Mr. Clay, describing Mr. Clay as a dark, shadowy man with a raspy voice. "He tells me what to do," Rodney stated. "He's really smart." "It's a start," the doctor said. "He's found an imaginary friend which should lead to a real friend in the future." The doctor and the Joneses were hopeful, although the description of Mr. Clay was frightening. One day, Rodney was in the backyard digging small holes. "What are you doing?" his mother asked, tilting her head slightly. "My friend Mr. Clay told me to bury my soldiers tonight," he said as he continued digging many holes. That night, Rodney buried hundreds of miniature soldiers. His parents watched from the kitchen window, wondering what Mr. Clay, Rodney's imaginary friend, had in store for these buried soldiers. They saw Rodney in the backyard again the next day, digging a larger hole. "What are you digging now?" his mother asked. "Mr. Clay told me to bury our cat tonight. Tomorrow night I'm going to bury our dog. And then you, mother." I hope you enjoyed this story. I never had an imaginary friend like Mr. Clay. Living in a home with five other siblings and all their friends, I certainly didn't need to make up anyone. Our house was always full of crazy people. Thank you for visiting Scary and Bizarre Short Stories. If you would, please subscribe and give this story a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. As always, thank you for visiting my channel.